All right, everybody, welcome. It is time for the first matchup of the first annual, that's enough firsts, Bump Bailey Wax Pack Hero Tournament of Awesome. We'll make sure to put in some reverb on that awesome there. I am one of your co-hosts, Jeff. Joining me as usual, and you're going to actually get to see him for the first time ever, is my co-host, Mark A. Johnston. Mark, hello.
Is it a pleasure? Pleasure to be here. Yes, absolutely.
We have got some guests with us, which is very exciting for the first time. We have got some actual guests that are going to be playing along with our Wax Packs Heroes as we start our first tournament. So let's get right into it. We want to welcome first from across the Pacific. He has been on our show before. I don't remember if he played Wax Packs Heroes or not with us, but we want to welcome Trevor from the Hanshin Tigers English News. Trevor, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. And no, I did not get to play Wax Packs Heroes. I think you started that because I was on like episode 3 or so, like quite early on, wasn't I?
Yeah, you are our first ever guest.
Yes.
And it was a two-parter. We have not had a two-part guest since then.
Well, I guess I'm the champion of the long-winded.
Yeah, no, I just have a ton of questions for you because Japanese baseball fascinates me, and I am on board. I am a Tiger all the way when the season starts now.
Thank you. It's good to have you on board too.
So joining Trevor and going against Trevor is our friends. I guess new friends. They have not been on the podcast yet. They co-host a podcast called Friars on the Farm. We want to welcome Donovan and Roy. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
Very happy to be here. Very happy to represent Friars on the Farm.
So I'm not sure if how familiar you guys are with the Wax Packs Heroes segment. This is kind of a time where Mark and I, we're two old gentlemen. Well, I use the word gentleman with Mark very loosely, but we are two older gentlemen that collected baseball cards in the mid to late 80s. So these kind of packs are right up our alley. Just a quick get to know both Trevor and Roy and Donovan. Did all of you collect baseball cards? Did any of you collect baseball cards?
I guess I'll go first. Yes, I collected cards. This is Roy from Friars on the Farm. I collected starting in around 1986 up to about like 92, 93, 94. And so I've still got a box of like 5,000 cards in my garage, and I'm sure the whole box is worth maybe like $15-$20.
You're being generous.
And I did not collect baseball cards. As a kid, you always went and got baseball cards when you were 8 to 10 years old. But soon after that, I found better things to do than with my money, which turned me into the person I am today.
Trevor, how about you? You're originally from Canada, if I recall correctly. Did you collect cards in your youth?
You can guess, and you'd be correct in saying that it wasn't baseball, but
hockey. Yeah, there you go.
I had a ton of hockey cards. I had some basketball because I was kind of into basketball in my teen years, and there might have been a bit of baseball thrown in because I remember buying like I think it was Upper Deck Prospects. There was a set, and it had the top prospects in baseball, basketball, football, and hockey all in one. I got that, and there were some, like, I think the top prospect in baseball was Brian Taylor.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, the Yankees.
I remember Ryan Taylor. Now, did you, being in Canada though, were they OPG cards?
Were OPG cards, and I love them. Those are straight out of my childhood. Yeah.
OPG and Leaf, I believe, were the two. Those are Canadian brands. All right, so Mark, clearly you have you're quite the collector. You still are a collector.
I am. I collect more of the modern kind of way too expensive to truly exist kind of cards. You know, what they do to these cards now, and they put relics in them, and they all come autographed, and it's crazy. So it's a little bit different than the hobby used to be, but it's taking a toll on my pocketbook. I'll tell you that.
So I likewise recently just pulled out my big boxes of cards, and I did not go broke buying baseball cards because I shoplifted all my baseball cards as a youth.
Same, totally.
There was a Woolworths in the local mall. There was a card shop right next to it. So I would go to the card shop, I'd buy 1 or 2 packs and get a bag, and then I'd go over to Woolworths, and the cards were in this huge bin in the very back of the store. There was no mirror, there was no camera, so I would just kind of shove them into the bag and then walk straight out and go home and open all my cards. And I think the statute of limitations is over, so I feel safe in saying
hope so,
that.
man. You better hope so.
I had to be a little more bold. I was going to the 7-Eleven around the corner. So I'd go in there and play some Street Fighter because they had an arcade, a couple arcade machines. Yeah. And I'd pick up some Bazooka Joe and a couple of packs, whatever was on the counter.
Literally pick them up.
All right. So the way that we're going to do this, normally we've kind of got a pack or 2 picked out when we play this with guests. But what we've got going on here, I want to make this fair. I've ordered a lot of baseball cards, a lot, not a whole bunch, but a lot, like you would you would pick up at an auction, and I've put them here on this Wheel of Names, wheelofnames.com, our official sponsor of randomness.
Is this like the Wheel of Fish?
This.
Yes.
Exactly. Only we've replaced fish with different years and brands of baseball cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this a spin, and then we will pull 2 packs from whatever that year and brand is, and then that is how we will determine what packs we're going to open. So without further pomp nor circumstance, we will go ahead and give this a spin and see what we're working with here. This is exciting. All right. So we're going to start with the 1988 Topps.
Yes.
Hey.
So this is exciting right off the bat. So we're going to come over here. We'll look in my candy box here. 1988 Topps. I got 2 packs here. This is not a game of skill. Which makes it good for all of us. There is no athleticism. There is no skill needed at all for this. So I've got
Jeff,
2.
Do I have to use my brain?
Well, no, you don't even. I'm the only one that has to use their brain, and that's because I got to do math.
Then it's a win-win for everybody.
Everybody else. So let me just put here on the header. Let me update this. This was from our last one, 1988, and we're going Topps.
So while you update, so Mark, you talked about these relic cards that you're getting now, and I'm trying to imagine like 12-year-old me, because I would get these cards and I'd lay them all out. I'd lay them out on the floor and I'd sort them by team. I'd sort them by position. I'd sort them alphabetical order, whatever. And I would do all kinds of, I would play with these cards. And now with these cards, it's like you delicately take it out of the pack. Yes. And then you immediately place it into a plastic container and you never touch it again.
Absolutely. In fact, some of them come already in the plastic container, untouchable, and you never ever get any closer to it than the half-inch of thickness that surrounds it.
So when I collected them as a little kid, there used to be like double, single on the back of the card, and we actually played baseball with the cards back then.
Right.
Yeah, they used to be fun on the back, but now they're valuable on the back. So.
And just for a point of age reference, in 1988, I was a year out of high school.
Well, did you? Has anybody collected 1988? Does anyone have this set?
Oh, I had the full 1989 set, but I have a whole bunch of 88 Topps. Yeah.
All right. So just look. I'm just looking randomly here at this 1992, May 1992 Becketts, which is where we will be pulling these prices from. And the most expensive card is probably the Tom Glavine rookie card, which lists here for 40 cents.
There you go.
So, again, as I warn everybody, there is also here's a Matt Williams rookie card for 80 cents.
Nice.
So the big Marine the manager of the Kia Tigers in Korea right now. Nobody is going to be able to retire on this, as I like to warn everybody. But there should be hopefully some interesting cards here. Now, there is only one thing here that you have control over in terms of this game, and that is who gets to pick which pack. So I have got a trivia question that I'm going to ask. I will ask all three of you on this call here, and whoever gets the closest will get to pick which pack they want. So here's my trivia question for today. How many 3-pitch innings have been recorded in Major League Baseball history? So we're looking for immaculate innings. Well, no, I guess this isn't even an immaculate. Immaculate inning is 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. This is just the old
throw 3 pitches and I'm out.
Yeah, like you're late for a dinner reservation, so you're just up there hacking away first pitch. So give me your best guesses.
I'll guess 7.
Okay.
That's like a Price is Right guess of $1, please.
Oh, wait, if you overbid, are you out, or is it just close?
Who's gonna bid 8?
I'm waiting. Right. I'm playing this safe because it's 2 against 1, man. I should be the last one in.
Okay. Yep. All right. So Donovan.
Okay, I'm gonna choose.
Yep. What's your guess? No. What's your guess?
5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
And Trevor.
Oh, the smart man's gonna say 8 here, right? Because that's gonna get that's what we go for. Of course.
Well, Trevor, you have won. The actual answer is 187.
Wow.
We're all so close.
Way closer than you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know why I came up with 5. But you know why I used to drink a lot.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a 1-pitch inning. Like I'm not aware of ever hearing about that.
I'm going to guess a lot of these came a long time ago. Yeah, 3-pitch inning. I'm going to guess a lot of these came a long time ago when
19th century. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we did a story a couple of weeks ago about somebody, they were playing on an island and the last train out was getting ready to leave, but they had to finish the game. So they were up there just swinging at the first pitches and then they'd run into the field. Oftentimes the first pitch would come before the defensive team had even left the field from the prior half inning. So they were just booking it to get that train. So, all right, Trevor. So you get to choose which pack you would like. There is the pack on the left or the right. Which one would you like?
I know that Nolan Ryan is a righty, and you guys love Nolan Ryan. But then Ricky Henderson's a lefty, and so am I, and so I'm going to go left.
All right, Ricky Henderson bats right, though. He is a lefty, but he bats right.
See, that's just like me. I bat right, and I'm a lefty.
All right, so this is your pack. So I'm gonna let Roy and Donovan choose. Do you want to go first or last? And
we'll go last.
Last, okay.
For your viewing pleasure, I'm holding up a Nolan Ryan autographed baseball.
Oh, you're very Mark. You're lucky.
That's a beautiful thing right there. It's beautiful.
Right.
My grandpa gave this to me.
You're lucky Mark doesn't live near you, or he might be visiting.
Yeah, what's the address and what are your work hours?
You're going to find any of those in the Woolworth bin, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's rip this pack then. And now I am also under no impression that whoever I bought this from on eBay didn't open them all, pull out any good cards, and then seal them back up. So
really wanted their 80 cents, right? Seriously.
Right. God, is that a thing? Really?
Jeff, one more thing, Jeff, we have to do before we get started here. I do have to tell everybody this is for entertainment purposes only. Please, no wagering.
No, please, absolutely no wagering.
Loser gets the gum, right?
Loser has to eat the gum. Yeah.
You try that
bang
gum,
on the
you are
hibachi
a
or not?
loser.
All right, so I've got the first pack here. I just realized we haven't really gone over the rules yet. So let's just set up the rules. There's not a whole lot of them, but they are important as how we score these. As I did mention, we are using a May 1992 Beckett. We are not using the mint price. We're just using the, I forget what the lower price is, but we're using that price. We do have a couple of extra rules. If the player is sporting a mustache, you get an extra cent. If the player is wearing, and we can see, true, real stirrups, extra point or cent. If they are wearing those lame, piece of shit 2-in-1 sewn in things like Jose Canseco used to wear, it is a minus a cent. And if they are a Hall of Famer, you get an extra 5 cents. So that's where the big money comes in. All right, so here we go. This is Trevor's pack. So, Trevor, you are starting out with somebody that killed the A's in the 1990 World Series when he was a member of the Cincinnati Reds. It is Billy Hatcher.
Billy Hatcher. Name rings a bell, but I'm really not. I wasn't a huge baseball fan growing up, so we'll leave it at that.
I remember him with the Dodgers. Am I right?
Yep.
Am I wrong?
Yep. Yeah, I think he went with the Dodgers later. He came up with the Cubs, on the Astros for a couple of years, the Dodgers, and the Reds, as far as I know.
He was on that 86 Astros team.
That makes sense. All right, so you can see there, no mustache, but he is sporting some nice stirrups. So that is...
Are we sure those are authentic stirrups?
Well, I feel pretty safe at this point that these are all authentic stirrups. It wasn't until like really 89 that you started getting those 2-in-1. I think as commissioner, we're gonna rule that as a yes. Now, unfortunately, here you've been stuck with the dreaded leaders card for the Texas Rangers.
Oh,
Never valuable.
That's like getting a checklist card. Not much going on there. I think that's Steve Buechele on the far right. I could not tell you who's in the middle there. I feel pretty safe in saying that this card is not going to be worth anything, though.
Is Steve Buechele, is he a pitching coach somewhere?
He is a coach. I know he managed the Nashville Sounds a couple of years ago when they were a Rangers club. And I think he might have been a coach. I don't think he was a pitching coach because he was an infielder. I think he might be in the majors now as a coach somewhere.
I've been doing
isn't there a mustache on the middle guy or not?
Yeah, there is. I was just noticing that. I think for the sake of this tournament, we're gonna go ahead and give you a cent for that mustache.
Yes, you.
I approve. The mustache qualifies.
Yeah.
If there were 2 mustaches in that card, I would get 2 cents.
And if you could see their stirrups, I mean, you could have come away with 8 cents there if they were all.
That's a pretty valuable card if that were the case.
Now, I really hate to be the bearer of bad news, but somehow you have pulled 2 leader cards in a row. This one with the Toronto Blue Jays.
At least it's a team that I like, and I think there are some mustaches.
I believe there are 2 mustaches, yes.
Is that George Bell?
That is George Bell, and that might be
Jesse Barfield?
Jesse Barfield, yeah, the gun.
Yes.
That's actually a good card. It's not worth anything. But
so at one time, the third member of their outfield was Lloyd Mosby, and I happened to play baseball with him. Or I played in a golf tournament with him.
Cool. Oh, nice. Yeah. I know. I follow Jesse Barfield's a good follow on Twitter, and I know that he gives Lloyd Mosby a lot of props because Lloyd Mosby kind of gets overlooked from all those Blue Jays. But everybody really liked Lloyd Mosby. But that's a 2-cent card because there's 2 sweet stashes there.
Thanks to my favorite team and the push brooms. Yeah.
Is that the father of Josh Barfield? Is that okay?
Yes.
Kind of washed up.
Well, I don't know.
With your Padres, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was considered one of their high prospects, and then he kind of had an okay rookie year and played a couple years in the league and washed out.
All right, so now we go with we've pulled this guy several times, and unfortunately, he's clean shaven here. He sometimes had a mustache, but here is Bobby Witt.
On Mr. Witt,
a one-time A's traded pitcher at the deadline.
I remember him being pretty
was
good.
He champion.
He was pretty good. He had he was well. Here, I've set this
Bobby
up
Witt could pitch, man.
specifically so that we could also look up players' stats.
He had a 16-year season career. You got to be pretty good to stick around that long.
Yeah, so here's Bobby Witt. Let's take a look. Whoa, we went really fast. We don't really care about his batting stats, but here, 16 seasons, 430 games started. Let's look at his record: 142, 157.
He won a World Series with the Diamondbacks. I didn't know he was on that team.
Was he really? Wow,
Apparently.
2001. Yeah, and
And
he
he
went
was also
4-1.
He was on the '84 Olympic team.
That
And
was
his son was Bobby Witt Jr., who was a 2018 second.
now but Bobby Witt Jr. is a shortstop or something, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a shortstop for the Royals.
Yep. So unfortunately, that card is not worth anything, though, and there is no mustache and obviously no visible stirrups.
okay.
It looks a little bit like Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers in my.
I think he's probably got a bunch of back tattoos. You just can't see it there in the picture.
If you could see them, though, there are bonus points for those.
Yeah, yeah. If you can see back tattoos, absolutely, you get Eric Hinsky. If you pull one of his cards, that's automatic.
Randy Messenger too, who played for my Hanshin Tigers, was also with the San Francisco Giants and the Mariners. He's got a back tattoo that kind of goes up his neck, and so it's fully visible. Maybe not in a card, but
Did he just finish up? Didn't he retire last year?
yeah, he retired at the end of the season. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Here's one of our favorite names. We've pulled this card quite a bit. Garth Iorg or
Great name.
Iorg. I
Team
like. I
and
say
pretty good
Iorg.
player.
Not to be confused with Dane.
Yes. So I'm going to guess that's probably not worth anything value-wise. To his mother, it's probably
Garth
worth a lot.
Iorg from the Caveman League, exactly the first Czechoslovakian to ever play Major League Baseball.
Really?
That's a total fucking joke. I thought we got a little extra money when we were kind of witty and kind of funny.
Well, I was ready to give you extra points, but no. Unfortunately, not worth anything, but he does have those sweet real stirrups on, so that's 5 cents for you right there. Now, we should have added an extra rule. If you get a airbrushed card, you get an extra cent, because if so, this one would have been worth quite a bit. A real bad airbrush job on Rick Honeycutt. And it looks like he's wearing a top hat, because that is huge.
Wasn't that an A's thing that year? They wore top hats.
It looks like one of those hats that pitchers would wear, like maybe 10 years ago, that had padding in it, so if they got hit in the head, it didn't hurt as much.
I think a Padre named Jesse Torres, he did that for a few games. Also, it looks like he's actually wearing the bullpen cart on his head.
Alex Torres.
Alex Torres,
now,
that's it.
Was Rick Honeycutt? Was he on MASH?
I don't think so. I what was Honeycutt's first name on?
Rick.
It was Lance Corporal Honeycutt, I believe.
It could have been Lance Corporal Rick Honeycutt. Now, I, as an A's fan, had a special name for Rick Honeycutt, and it was Rick Honeyfuck, because he came in from the bullpen, and I would just start pulling my hair out. But he was I know he's been a pitching coach for quite a while. I think mainly with the Dodgers. But that card is not worth anything, and there's no mustache and no stirrups there.
Isn't he the pitching coach for the Dodgers?
I know he has been. I don't know if he still is or not. I want to say that he still is. I think I remember him during the playoffs being there. All right, so your next card is a guy I have never heard of in my life. And he looks like he's about 14 years old in this card. Mike Loin.
What?
Loin? Anybody?
Never have I ever.
Yeah, Mike Loin. Today I loined that there was a baseball player named Mike Loin at once.
That is Mike Loin. I love that guy. I loined a lot from him.
Well, now I'm going to have to look him up, though. Mike Loin.
He's from my loin.
Let's see. So Mike Loin. Let's get him here. Mike Loin. A little bit more information on Mr. Loin. He was drafted in the 11th round by the Orioles. Didn't sign. Then the 7th round by the Rangers. He only pitched for 2 years. Only pitched for 2 years. Went 4-9. And his FIP, this might be an indicator of why he retired after 87, was 5.8 in 1987.
This is the 1988 set, and he retired in 87. And he still got a card.
He probably just didn't make the majors. He probably was invited to camp, didn't make it, or they cut him and nobody signed him. Or
I'd have gone to camp and said, "Look, I'm the first Czechoslovakian player ever, so give me a roster spot."
He was Mr. Jorg.
Look at Mike Loin was on the Olympic team as well. Look at that. Look at that. He played all the way up till 1994 in the minors.
He's very stubborn.
He played 88. He played in Tucson for the Toros. Then Columbus, Syracuse, Louisville, Richmond. He was a 4A player. It looks like he's stuck around in AAA.
So
in Japan, maybe. You never
Cody
know.
Decker.
What? I don't know who's Cody Decker.
Cody Decker holds the Padres record for most home runs in a minor league career. He was in the Padres minor league system for like 8 or 9 years, and then finally got a cup of coffee and retired.
How many minor league home runs did he not?
Oh, let's look here.
Yeah, I'm looking it up here. So Cody Decker, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
204.
Yeah.
So just a little promo if you want to know about the all-time minor league home run record. You might want to listen to this week's episode.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Cody Decker is also one of these like larger than life personalities. He was the clubhouse. Everybody loved him. He was always playing pranks on everybody. So yeah, Cody Decker. You might want to look him up on Twitter. He's a good follow.
That's Decker6 on Twitter.
Does the show? He also does a show, Swing and Misses, with his wife. I think it's on channels. And he used to make movies. He was like one of the first ball players to kind of make these YouTube channel movies for himself. And he actually got a guest spot in like some TV show where it was a security guard, and he said, "Hey, buddy, you can't sit here." And then the guy shows up on him, like one of those. He gets 2 lines and he's blown up.
So
Well, he's
my favorite bit that he pulled, Jeff Francoeur went to El Paso to play for the Chihuahuas in AAA. And he convinced Cody Decker that another player on the team was deaf. And this went on for weeks until
it went the entire season. It was the entire season. Yeah, we've talked about that and linked it there. The Chihuahuas production team actually made a whole YouTube video. It's like 15 minutes long. And it is spectacular. And I got to give Jeff Francoeur credit. At the end, he was such a good sport about it, cracking jokes about himself and stuff. It is a great thing to watch. Cody Decker, nickname Anti-Hero.
Yeah.
It's a interesting name. All right, next. Oh, Mark, you say we pull one of these every time, and here we go. The Bull, Leon Durham.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Okay, so kinds of points there with the goat and the glasses.
Yeah, well, we're not. The glasses we're not going to give points for. But those are exactly what I'm talking about when I say science teacher glasses. Right there on the bowl.
Now, did he wear those in actual games? Because it's clear that he's just playing catch in the card.
Yep. Oh yeah, he wore those, and they were not transition glasses either. They were just. I think he had those yellow ones at one point, but those look like they're clear right there.
Yeah, and back in 1988, the transition lenses were the ones that you flip down.
Will Clark. Will Clark.
All right, so that card's not worth anything, but you do get 1 cent for the mustache. Next, we've
I'm
got
getting point for here. Stirrups.
You're not going to get rich on these, yeah. Here you'll get a point at least for the stirrups. I'm guessing that's all. It is Doug Sisk, pitcher for the New York Mets.
Hey, well, thanks for wearing stirrups, Doug.
Yeah, I think that is literally all you're going to get there from Doug. It is not assist. I just made that up. I don't know.
The force is not strong with him. Sisk, it almost sounded like he wanted to be his when his family came over from on Ellis Island to New York. Their last name was Sisquatch, so they just shortened it to Sisk.
Sisquatch, and I think he's got family up in the Pacific Northwest. All right, so here's a double score at least, and again, I'm afraid it's probably going to be the only value you get. Catcher for the St. Louis Cardinals, Steve Lake. Steve Lake is definitely not worth anything other than the 2 cents for those stirrups and that sweet mustache.
That's a nice follow-through pose, and I like the Sansa belt pants.
They were very fashion forward in the 88 season. I do like, yeah, I was commenting on some A's uniforms the other day. Can't make that straight. Where they were not wearing belts. I think that should come back.
If you ask the players, they will tell you, please no.
Did they come unbuttoned when they were sliding often?
Pablo Sandoval's might.
His might come unbuttoned just when he's standing up. All right, so next, this one, Mark will enjoy this one. One of my favorite Rickey Henderson stories is about a phone call to this gentleman when he won the stolen base title, breaking a streak for Rickey Henderson. Harold Reynolds.
Oh, a chubby Harold Reynolds. Look at that.
He's got baby fat.
But that's no baby mustache.
No, that's a big league mustache right there.
A man's mustache, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, that is the only value for Mr. Reynolds there.
I think his greatest highlight is being thrown out by Bo Jackson.
At home plate.
That really bad commercial with him wearing a hey kids, when you wear a helmet and he's in his baseball gear on a bike, they always show it on MLB Network.
Was that a Mariners branded commercial?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, my favorite story is Rickey Henderson in '87 when Reynolds, because Rickey was hurt when Reynolds won the stolen base title with 60 stolen bases, and Rickey calls him up the day after the season and goes, 60. Henderson here. 60. Rickey would have had 60 at the break. And then just hangs up. So you get 1 cent for that. You have broken, you're up to 10 cents now.
Woo! Minute.
All right. This guy has got, well, at least again, another 2 cents. Paul Kilgus, pitcher for the Texas Rangers.
You're drawing some 20 grade names here.
Clearly, the person who sold these to you pulled out the valuable cards and left all this.
I am telling you, absolutely, I believe that to be the case. But we're here just to talk about these kind of guys. Paul Kilgus, though, 2 cents there with a nice mustache and the stirrups. So now,
he's a left-handed reliever, so you know he's an odd duck.
Yeah, and I think he probably pitched for about 20 years.
Just for the name recognition only, just hey.
Yeah, I mean, I remember him. Let's pull him up here. Paul Kilgus. I don't know how to spell his name, apparently.
He coached the Bowling Green, Kentucky team in the Little League World Series in 2015.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he is from Lexington, Kentucky. He pitched for only 6 years in the big leagues. I would have assumed that he pitched more than that, but yeah, 21 and 34. He was mainly well, it looks like he started a good deal. I thought he was a reliever. Lefty starter. All right. But that's 2 cents for that. So you're up to 12 cents. Now, you said that they took, oh boy, you said that they might have cherry picked some cards here, but you have got a Hall of Famer. You've got a Hall of Famer with some nice stirrups and a mustache, and he's wearing brown pinstripes.
Oh.
Now, this seems like this pack might have been destined for Roy and Donovan.
Trevor Hoffman?
You
Yes, Tony.
That is Jerry Curl era Tony Gwynn right there.
That definitely is. And so that is clearly your best card of this pack. And let's see. So Tony Gwynn at this point was going for 10 cents. Plus he's a Hall of Famer. So that's 15 plus the 2 cents for the mustache and the stirrups. So that is a 17-cent card.
More than doubles my total. Sweet.
That does. That takes you up now to 29 cents. And just drives a dagger into the Friars on the Farm heart, having pulled a Tony Gwynn.
We're both heartbroken right now. This is heartbreaking. I don't know what to do. I'm speechless.
How many of these cards do you guys have?
Well, I know that I have that one. I believe I have the Billy Hatcher. The rest of them, they're names that don't stand out to me, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm just talking Tony Gwynn. How many Tony Gwynn cards do you think you guys have?
I probably have about 24 of Tony. I might have like 3 or 4 of that particular card right there.
I sold everything of value up into the age of 30.
Well, this is clearly worth it.
Well, that is looking. You've got 2 cards left, Trevor, and that is clearly the highlight of your pack. Next,
I want to point out what Tony Gwynn did in the 1987 season. People don't think of Tony as being a fast guy, but in 1987, he stole 56 bases. He batted .370 with a .447 on base. He was a machine in 1987.
Yeah.
now, he's still the Padres' all-time leader in stolen bases, isn't he?
I believe so, more due to longevity than anything.
Yeah, but he was. I mean, we've talked about Tony Gwynn quite a bit. Fast, athletic. You know, younger people tend to just remember him in his older days when he was a little bit bigger. But I mean, great basketball player in college.
He is the San Diego State all-time assists leader.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, and I don't think I've ever heard anybody utter a bad word about him.
You never will.
Yeah. And one of the things I really appreciate is he talked up Ricky Henderson. He said he was one of the best teammates he ever had. And I appreciated when I heard that. That makes me happy. All right. So you've got 2 cards left here. Next, we've got pitcher lefty for the Red Sox, Joe Sambito, who I happen to have a tidbit about just because we pulled this card with Vince Cotroneo a couple weeks ago. Joe Sambito is now an agent, a baseball agent.
He's not in the Gambino crime family?
They can't, I'm not allowed to tell you.
Hey, Gambino, it's the same thing.
I love how he's wearing his stirrups in this picture, by the way.
Yep. So there's definitely 1 cent. That is the only value there, but it is 1 cent there. And then
Me up. I like it.
Your last card is going to get you at least 2 cents. I'll give you that much. It is pitcher for the Cubs, Mike Mason. You've got a lot of lefties. But,
that's fitting.
Yeah, I'm going to guess, though, that Mike Mason is probably not going to get you too much. Yeah, he's just going to get you the 2 cents, which I'm going to be honest is not a bad pack.
It's a pretty good contribution there. Yeah.
32 cents. Clearly the winner of the pack, though.
And it's a bad name, Mike Mason, for someone that belongs The Freemasons. Dun-dun-dun.
I'm guessing that was a great joke, but you cut out, and all we heard was bad name and Freemason, and then a rim shot. So
yeah.
I said Mike Mason is a bad name for someone who belongs in the.
Again, we're gonna have to let our minds just wander.
Getting bleeped out or something, man.
I think
Not destined to be
the FBI is monitoring us and does not want something said.
Maybe it's that Joe Sambito before this that somebody's monitoring us.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is a Wi-Fi signal that says not an undercover FBI van. So could be. I don't know. All right, so there you go. That is 32 cents for your pack. Again, not a bad number. That would get you on our leaderboard for our regular show with our guests.
Man, Donovan, we got our work cut out for us. You think we can take him down?
You really do. That is going to be a tough one to beat. 32 cents.
Now, how much was that one card worth?
I think it was. Did we say like 20 or no?
17.
17
it was 10 cents plus the Hall of Fame plus the stash and the stirrups is 17, I think.
Man.
So that is almost half. Well, that is more than half of his.
More than half. Yep.
Was for one card, and
again, one card could get you over that total.
I need Andre Dawson.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be not quite my version of Tony Gwynn, but. A Hawk, definitely one of my childhood faves.
Hall of Fame. He always has a mustache. I believe he wore stirrups. Let's see.
Yeah, he wore those big long stirrups, like very similar to the Tony Gwynn here, where he pulled them up as high as he possibly could, so you don't see the arch. All right, so that's pack number 1. We're ready to now move on to this pack right here. Let's see what you can pull here. What magic you can pull. Now, this might be a good omen. You got a full stick of gum.
Ooh.
In one piece.
Oh.
It's not inserted after the guy opened the pack and took the good cards. I hope he didn't just throw that in as a...
Well, the fact that you got a Tony Gwynn tells me that quite possibly, these are not messed around with. All right, so here we go. Let's start off here. Here's a good name, lefty for the New York Mets. Definitely get you at least 1 cent. Bobby Ojeda.
Oh, Bob Ojeda. He was on the 86 team that won the World Series, wasn't he?
I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was. Yep.
That is not worth anything other than the 1 cent for those nice stirrups.
Hey, I'll take whatever we can get.
Okay, now you're cooking with gas, though, because you have got a rookie card. Or at least a rated rookie card. If I were to tell you that he was the first Jamaican player to make the major leagues, does anybody have an idea?
No, I'm drawing a blank.
I don't know.
Whip it good. Devon White.
Oh.
So this is a rated rookie card. At least he wasn't actually a rookie this year, but there is a mustache. Let's see what we've got here for Devo. All right, so you get 4 cents there for the value, plus 1 cent for that stash. So that's a 5-cent card.
Okay.
No value was getting the cool picture behind the batting.
Yeah, and look at that. He's got the old style batting helmet where the ear flap was the same. It didn't pop out a little bit. It's like flush with the rest of the helmet.
It's still a single flapper though. He's not going double flap.
No. How many double flaps were around at that point? Because there were still people grandfathered in that didn't need flaps at this point, like Winfield.
I remember Mark Bellhorn used to wear a double flapper.
And what's his name? He was the second baseman for the A's just 2 years ago. Went to the Mets, got hurt. That's embarrassing. But he still wears a double flap. What the heck's his name?
I'm surprised there's still a double flap in the big leagues. I figured everybody have like They're back and forth.
Yeah, I'm guessing though, if you wore that jaw guard, you would have to have two helmets. You couldn't wear a double flapper if you had that jaw guard.
I'd like to see how that works.
Yeah, I think we should go back to the Dave Parker hockey mask look.
Oh
myself, okay, now I've got some bad news for you. It's not a leader's card, but it is a manager card for the Kansas City Royals, and for some reason he's wearing a batting helmet. John Wathan.
John Wathan. I believe I've seen that card before. I'm pretty sure I probably have like 5 of those things. They're all stacked up together on one page in one of those, like I've got them all in binders, and I just jam them all into the same pocket.
Well, and he looks like that actor you see in all shows. You're like, God, what's that guy's name? He's in all the TV shows. You're like, yeah, it's him.
Character actor John Wathan.
He looks kind of confused in the picture.
Well, it's because he's a manager and he's wearing a batting helmet. What the hell?
Well, they asked him, "Hey, who's batting third today?"
I'm wondering if he didn't have a hat and they were taking pictures and they're like, "Hey, John, we need a picture of you," and so they had a batting helmet around, so he put it on.
He's got the chest hair afro picking out of the jersey, though.
Do we count that as a mustache? Is that like a chest mustache?
Oh my God, that mustache! He's hiding Sasquatch in there. Damn beaver on his chest.
That's Doug Sisquatch is down there. Right there. That's called a callback right there.
Okay.
All right. Next, we've got Bill. Don't call me Tito Landrum, Cincinnati Reds.
He looks confused too.
Yeah, he looks very. He probably doesn't have many baseball cards. Let's see. I'm gonna guess that's probably not. Oh no! I hate to break the bad news to you here, but this is considered a rookie card, and Bill Landrum was thought very highly in 1988 or 92, I guess, when this Becketts came out. That's worth 2 cents.
Oh way!
Nice.
So for the 88 set, what kind of information do they have on the back of the card? Like not just the stats, but did they have like fun facts or anything like that?
So Bill's father, Joseph Butler Landrum, pitched in 16 games for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1950 and 1952.
Well, there you go.
Playing with Jackie
Legacy. Well, and look at he is card number 42.
Oh.
Huh?
No points.
Might have done that on purpose.
42.
So you got 2 cents for that. For that. Maybe that's why he's got that confused look, because he's like, my card's worth anything. But there you go. This guy always had a mustache, a member of 2 Minnesota Twins World Series teams, Dan Gladden.
Oh, yeah. Good old Danny Gladden.
I'm glad to met you.
So 502, that is not worth anything card-wise, but you do get 1 cent.
He's playing in front of a packed house right there.
Right.
Yeah, he's got on the warm up.
Leaving.
This is clearly at old Detroit Tiger Stadium. He's got the warm up on there. So yeah, but there does look like there's a group leaving in the background, doesn't it? All right, this card might be worth something. Pitcher for the Houston Astros, not Nolan Ryan, but does have a no-hitter in the playoffs to his name. He is also a character in The Office, and coincidentally, my best friend's name, Mike Scott.
Oh, yeah.
So he's definitely got some stirrups there. No mustache. Looks like that's it. Go ahead.
No points for 2 first.
You are cutting out big time there.
No points for having Scott first name as a last name.
Oh, maybe it's a first name, last name. It's a first name for both.
Well, I was going to maybe suggest that looks like it might be at Jack Murphy Stadium, but I can't give points out for that.
Ooh, that very well could be Jack Murphy Stadium. Good call.
That I've said it before. One of my superhero powers is I can, from just a wall, generally tell what stadium it's at.
So when Jack Murphy first opened, when it was San Diego Stadium, that 17-foot wall was the outfield wall.
Oh,
for the
boy.
first like 7 or 8 years of the Padres' existence. And so Nate Colbert hitting however many home runs, he had to clear that whole thing. And then they finally built that wall that was 6 or 8 feet in from that concrete wall. And only whatever 8 feet high.
And I remember there used to be palm trees between the wall and that big wall, right? At some point, yeah.
Right. And so here in San Diego, we're a little contentious about our retired numbers. So Steve Garvey hit that memorable home run in 1984, and they put a sign up on the outfield wall where the home run went. And at some point later on, I guess Joan Kroc was a huge Garvey fan. She insisted that he have his number retired by the team, even though he was just a mediocre player at the very tail end of his career. So now number 6 is still retired, and a bunch of us are kind of salty about that.
I would be. He does not. Steve Garvey is not a Padre legend.
No,
sure.
he had an amazing series and one huge home run. But other than that, we could do a whole show about that.
Fun fact. I've been to 2 games. I went to 2 games at Jack Murphy Stadium, one of which was the game when Roseanne Barr sang the national anthem.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't know how I happened to be there on that day, but I was at that game.
Oh, what a disgrace.
All right, I hate to tell you, you've got another manager card. Now, this one might make you a little bit happier.
Please tell me he at least has a mustache.
He does not, but he is wearing a brown and orange uniform.
So Jack McKeon.
No Trader Jack.
Larry Boa.
There you go.
Yeah.
Larry Boa. I'm gonna guess you're not gonna garner any points for that one.
I highly doubt it.
At least you got a Padre.
He's wearing the spring training warm up right there.
Yeah, or is that just a BP? I can't tell. I can't see any of the background to tell if that is a spring training or if that's BP.
They're probably the same thing.
Yeah. That's why I was looking for the background to see if it's a major league stadium or just Arizona.
Yeah, he didn't stick around for long.
I've got more bad news for you.
Oh, no.
Another manager card. Your third manager card of the pack.
You're killing me, Jeff.
This probably not one of your favorite managers. He coined the phrase "hum baby." Actually, in 1989, the year after this card, for the San Francisco Giants, Roger Craig, Old Man Craig.
Okay, good player.
Yeah. Now, wasn't he involved in a big brawl with the Dodgers when he was a player? I think he was part of that, where I forget who it was. If it was Cepeda charged the mound with the bat. And,
Juan Marshall.
Was it Juan Marshall? Yeah.
Well, I think he was the pitcher when it happened.
Was that it? I remember he was involved in that brawl somehow. But Roger Craig. All right. So your next card, you're getting off of the manager card. That's only 3 in this pack. So
only.
Next pitcher, Bruce, 5 minutes for Ruffin.
Okay. I see stirrups.
I see stirrups as well.
That's a fantastic uniform.
Yeah.
Whoops, I dropped the card there.
The Phillies pinstripe with that script P style with the baseball in the middle of the P.
Yeah, I like that P.
That's pretty sweet.
That's a good look. That card is not worth anything, but you do get 1 point, 1 cent for the stirrups, chipping away at that lead. But and I apologize for using a Chris Berman nickname. I hate Chris Berman and his nicknames, but that Jim Deshaies and Bruce Ruffin are 2 that I will allow.
What's Jim Deshaies' nickname?
Jim 2 silhouettes on Deshaies.
Oh, how about Brown O to be young? Oh my God, what was it?
O to be young again McDowell.
Right, there we go.
That's just too hard to say. All right, so Nick, your next card is oh wow, this is a young-looking steroid denier. But hey, he's been
Errol.
You ding ding ding.
Yes.
There you go. Came up with the Cubs. There he is.
Clearly not using steroids there.
I wish I would have negotiated a Sansa belt clause in here.
Yeah. Well, typically if you're going to see the belt, you're going to see the stirrups, but not in this one.
No, he was always long pants all the way down.
The first player I remember with long pants where you could just see a hint of stirrups was Don Mattingly. But, you could still see the stirrups. It wasn't like all the way down to the shoes look. But
I remember Scott Erickson had a thing about that pitcher for the Twins, that he wanted his pants going all the way down, not showing any sock at all.
I despise those looks. I like the stirrups.
Yeah.
But I always loved the way Don Mattingly wore a uniform. He wore a uniform great.
Well, there's a connection to history involved there. Back because when the team started wearing colored socks, the dyes in the socks if they got cut, they would cause an infection. So then they started wearing the sanitaries underneath, and they'd wear the stirrups to show the color, like the Red Sox or whatever.
Hello.
And then the veterans, as the stirrups would get stretched out, you'd start to see that creeping up the ankle. And so the stirrup was just a sign of a veteran player.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So at some point, guys would take that strap and they would sew an extra piece of strap in there to make the stirrup show even more.
Oh, that is the exact kind of stuff we need on our show.
I believe I learned that from Paul Lucas of Uniwatch.
Yep, Uniwatch. Excellent. I was just when we were talking to Vince Cotroneo, I made note that the A's are the only team that have colored sanitary socks.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good point. They got the yellow sanitary with the green stirrup.
Yep. Good luck. So good news for you. This card is worth 10 cents.
Hey!
Yes!
I'm
Plus,
in the money.
You get 1 cent for the mustache. So that doubles your score and brings you to within 10 cents.
Yeah, but he's never going to the Hall of Fame.
Yep, definitely won't. All right, next. Now, I have not heard of this guy. Pitcher apparently for the Atlanta Braves, Charlie Pulo? I'm not sure. I don't even know how you say that. I'm going to go with Charlie, me and Puleo down by the schoolyard.
Ooh, good one.
Me and Puleo.
Feminism. Feeling it.
The contract, he earned his first major league win in 1982. So he'd been around for a while. I have never heard of this guy. Card is not worth anything. Got a mustache and got stirrups, though.
There we go. Also, he looks like a Tommy John. I'm no evaluator, but where he's throwing with that front foot, it looks like he's about ready to throw his arm right off his shoulder. But that looks like bad mechanics.
Fun fact: that's not actually his the fabric of his sleeve that's stretching out. That is his elbow. This is the card where he lost it right there.
That's some incredible flexibility right there. I hope they don't have a Dave Dravecky card like that. Oh, sorry. That's a bad joke.
Yeah, too soon.
Too soon.
Now, I'm not sure I've ever seen a pack with 4 manager cards in it.
I have a Puleo fact here. Puleo is probably best remembered for being the pitcher the Mets traded in order to acquire Tom Seaver before the 1983 season.
So he was apparently well thought of at one point.
And then he went on to become a gym teacher after retiring.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like I said, I until now I had never seen a card with 4 manager cards in it, but there he is, Mr. Dick Williams, here with the Mariners.
All right. Well, Dick Williams took the Padres to the World Series in '84, so I can't be bitter about that.
No, I think Dick Williams, and he's sporting a mustache there. So while this card is technically not worth anything, you are going to get 1 cent for that lip brush.
He kind of bears a resemblance to Wilford Brimley in this picture.
Oh, I can see the diabetes just rolling off him.
I think he's got some Quaker oatmeal dribbling down his chin.
Yeah. There's Dick Williams. All right, so you've got 3 cards left, and I'm going to tell you you've got a chance, and it's
We're
all
in rage.
It's going to be on this card right here.
Ooh.
It is a speedster who I'm just going to give you his stolen base total for his first three seasons: 110, 107, and 109.
Yeah.
Coleman.
You got it. Vince Coleman.
Vince
The Firecracker
Coleman.
King.
The fire. Boy. And kids don't throw firecrackers into crowds. It's just not worth it. It is not worth it.
He's got quite the Jerry curl going.
Yeah, he really does have. And Vince Coleman would usually have a mustache, but he does not in this picture. And Vince Coleman also liked to wear those high stirrups, really stretch them out, but can't see it here.
He looks faster with the stirrups.
Yeah.
Just let your soul glow.
Okay, now so I'm looking at this and I accidentally looked at Ellis Burks, who's got a rookie card in this set that's worth 30 cents. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
over. But
Ellis Burks was huge.
Huge in Japan too, right, Trevor?
I guess so.
Burks.
Yeah, or am I thinking of Greenwell? It was one of those Red Sox.
Greenwell is definitely the most notorious import in the last 25 years in Japan. I don't know about Burks. The name doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, I think I got him mixed up with Mike Greenwell, one of those young outfielders for the Red Sox. But Vince Coleman here, this card is worth 3 cents. I was thinking it might. Right. I was thinking it might be higher, but so that brings you up to 28 cents with 2 cards left. You're 4 cents behind, and I hate to admit it, I have not considered what would happen if we have a tie. So, all right, your second to last card is a backup catcher for the New York Mets. At this point, he was backing up Gary Carter. Barry Lyons. I'm afraid this card's probably not going to get you.
My wife grew up a Mets fan.
I can't see clearly enough. There's no mustache. There's no peach fuzz on that lip, is there?
Nope.
There's a dimple. What about the dimple? The dimple.
Dimple and eye black.
I got a Sharpie here. Let me put some Sharpie on that.
That only works on FEMA maps. It does not work on baseball cards.
Right.
So you are you don't get anything for that. You are still 4 cents behind, and you've got 1 card left.
Man, being Gary Carter's backup, there's not a whole lot of playing time for a backup for Gary Carter's backup, right?
I'm guessing probably not. Let's look at the numbers there. Games.
Oh, that's all minor league stuff.
Yeah. No, you get 53 games. Yeah, not helping out there.
Donovan's wife grew up in New York. She was a huge Mets fan, but apparently she's not a Barry Lyons fan.
No, she doesn't know. Barry what?
Barry White.
Mark's got some good Barry White stories when it was Barry White night at the Mariners.
Oh. Okay, so we need 7 cents. We need 8 cents on this last card. No, we need 6 cents. Here we go.
A nickel, right? A nickel will do it.
A nickel will do it. A nickel will do it.
Yeah, you need at least 5 cents.
Pardon my math.
I'm going to tell you that you've got stirrups on this guy.
Ooh.
I'm afraid that might be all you've got with Roy Smalley.
Roy. Hey, that's Stuart Smalley's dad. He's smart enough, and gosh darn it, he made the major leagues.
Gosh darn it, people look at all those. I mean, he was in the league for a long time.
Wow.
He was a rookie in 75. And when you get print this small on a Topps card, you've been around for a while. But I'm going to guess that those stirrups are probably the extent of the value.
He's the Paul O'Neill of this whole deck.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm afraid that is not good enough.
How much were stirrups worth? I thought they were worth a nickel.
Well, if they're Hall of Fame stirrups, they are. But those are just those are common major league stirrups right there. Well, let's see. Is he wearing them correctly?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the high part in the back there.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I think the 4 manager cards really killed you in this pack. I think Vince Coleman is probably your best. Well, Palmeiro was worth the most. But,
yeah, but Vince shaved that day, so he's not doing me any favors.
No,
Right.
he's
But
really.
the extra penny was not going to do it anyways. So
Right.
You actually got some good names in here with Palmeiro, Coleman, Mike Scott, and Devo, but they just weren't worth a whole lot.
Yeah, man. That's all right.
basically, I won not because of any skill, but because of my Price is Right strategy.
It was 100%. I told you that was the only part of the game that you control was getting to choose the pack. So let's switch on over to our tournament board here. You can see you at the very first match of the entire tournament, and we're going to go ahead and we are going to call this one. And advancing to the second round is the Hanshin Tigers. No, Tiger. I've got your name wrong there, but
no, because on Twitter I'm just the Hanshin Tiger, and there's no S on it.
Yes, I know. I said I just got that wrong. I got it right originally. That's my bad. I will make sure to correct that. But congratulations, Trevor. You have obliterated Friars on the Farm in the first round here.
Push broom advantage.
What 29 says? Okay.
We're gracious losers. We accept this loss, but it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you for Tony's win.
We're Padres fans. Come on, we're used to losing. This is an old hat for us.
You can thank us for Pierce Johnson later on this year if there's a season 2.
Oh, I hope so. I'll trade that whole stack on the right for that one card on top on the left, though.
Well, we'll pull it aside, and when I get down to saying,
real quick, are the Hanshin Tigers? So who in the Japanese baseball league? Yeah, who are they kind of comparable to? Are they comparable to a Padres team, where they're like they never win, or
they never win? They're often compared to the Red Sox or the Cubs, just in the sense that they've had long dry spells. They've got a fierce and very loyal fan base, and they're going up against the Empire. So I guess the Cubs don't really have the evil Empire thing going on, but the Red Sox do, which is why there's the Yomiuri Giants, who are like the Yankees of Japanese baseball.
Yeah,
and we're still a big market, and we're still a team that spends a decent amount of money, but we just can't seem to get it right. We're kind of like the Red Sox until 2004.
And a good thing to check out if you want to listen to our episodes with Trevor. He explains the curse of the Colonel, which since he explained it to us, I have corrected many people on the internet who incorrectly reference the curse of the Colonel. But it's a very interesting story about Kentucky Fried Chicken and Randy Bass.
The false version of it, the mythical version, is actually definitely an interesting take, and it's worth reading. But just know that there are a few facts in there that are false, which makes the whole curse sham.
And you can also find that on your website. There, you've got a great write-up about the whole curse as well.
And if I had any kind of technological skills, I would probably do a YouTube video that would hopefully obliterate all the other crappy ones that are out there.
Well, I want to thank all three of you here. I've had your Twitter handles here on the screen for most of this time, but do you guys want to let everybody know where they can find you, your podcast, anything else? We'll let the champion of this round, Trevor, go first.
Well, yeah. Thank you for having me on as I obliterated the Friars. Well, I am the creator of the HanshinTigers.com, which will tell you all you need to know about probably the funnest Japanese the funnest team to follow in Japanese baseball. You can find me on that website. I've got a podcast as well called Hanshin Tigers English News, pretty vanilla title. And then as you saw on the screen, or as you will see in the footnotes, whatever, follow me on Twitter at the Hanshin Tiger, singular, not plural.
And I've made that fix if so it is correct everywhere. Roy, Donovan, do you want to tell everybody about your podcast and where they can find you?
So I'm Roy, and I'm the co-host. Donovan is the host of the Friars on the Farm podcast. We try to focus on the Padres minor league system, which has been an amazing ride the last couple of years, and we're looking forward to that continuing. But yeah, we cover the Padres from the draft all the way through Arizona Summer League, all the way up to AAA, and we talk about some major league stuff while we're at it too. So Friars on the Farm, we're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple, iTunes, all that stuff.
And I'm Donovan, SD Donovan. You can find me on Twitter at SDDONAVAN. And thanks for having us, man. This was a real blast. And I hope
thank you.
My audio was coming through.
I think I see a couple of Padres cards in the background of this graphic. I definitely see an Ozzie Smith rookie card right there.
Yep. There is definitely an Ozzie Smith there, and he's got a mustache too, and he gets a 5 cents for the Hall of Fame. So I mean,
what about that? The sideburns he's got. That's awesome.
And then to the far left, just 2 cards away from him, there's another. I can't tell who that is though.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that might have been Pirates or Padres. Can't tell.
It's a Padres for sure. I'll have to go back and find the original image. But yeah, well, guys, this was great. Looking here at the standings, you can see that Trevor has advanced. He will take on the winner of our next match, the hotly contested Turn a Pair baseball podcast and the No Crying in Baseball. There's been a lot of smack talking already between that matchup. So fortunately, they're in different states, so we don't have to separate them physically. But that will be your next opponent, Trevor. But thank everybody for coming on and jumping on with us. This was a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll get to talk to everybody here again. And we will see you on the next episode of our first annual Bump Bailey Wax Pack Hero of Awesome.
Gonna pull a wax pack hero. All stars in his eyes. Wax pack hero. Gonna pull a wax